Hi peeps, bit of an update to the van. That back cupboard, that was the original, I believe it was the stretcher cupboard, or the backboard cupboard. I've taken that out and I've used it as the toilet wall. Not sure if you can see that adequately. It's got to be cut down because it comes out too far, but I should be taking out that section there. That section there is going to be removed, slide that along, cut that support down, cut that big board down, cut the top down so it stops about here. I believe it's 70 centimetres, I think I measured it as, so it clears the skylight, so I can put the skylight trim back on, because I don't want to cut the skylight trim to go around the wall. And then this, I'm not sure if you can see that because I can't really get a wide angle shot because there's not enough room in here. This is going to be my toilet area, so I'm still not sure yet whether I'm going to bolt that door in, because I may have one of those cheap Chinese water heaters in there, so I'll have to open the door when I want to use it, which means that door will be basically a small shelf about that big. When you open the door from the outside, there'll just be the water heater in there and all the water pipes and the gas pipes, and it'll be outside and sealed from the inside. But I thought I'd reuse this wall instead of building one from ply, because then this wall's already waterproof. It's plastic, there's no need to waterproof it. I can cut these, obviously I've got this end section to go on, which matches the original end section that was on there because it's curved. So it sort of follows with the theme of the rest of the furniture, i.e. the plastic and the aluminium. So all I've got to do is cut that down, re-put this back on, and it will look just like the cupboard that was originally there, except without cupboard doors on it, so I can use it as my toilet. It will then have a door that folds out across there, and I'll be able to shower underneath the skylight. So that's where I am so far. Now I'm going to take the rest of this wall apart, and then I'm going to use that circular saw I built in my scrap video last time, and I'm going to saw through all that plastic, see what sort of mess I can make. Anyway, I'll get back to you in a while when the wall's cut down, and then I can put the surround back on for the skylight. See you in a bit, peeps. Many hours later, and that doesn't look like I've done much. I've cut that bottom support down, I've cut that middle support down, I've cut the top support down, I've cut that sheet down. I've just got that big sheet to cut down in there now. And as you can see, the wall is now cut back. It's now missing the surround, or at least it will miss the surround when someone gets off their arse and puts the surround back up. Misses it and leaves enough room for the two doors, and if you can see that, there's a gap of about 10 mil. That's enough gap for the door from this side and the door from that side to lay over one another without getting in the way of this. Right, I will get back to you in another moment, because now I've got to go and get that circular saw out, and I've got to cut that down and keep it straight. It all seems quite simple. You measure the distance you want to cut it down by, so it's like 62 centimetres from there to there, but when it comes to cutting the board, you have to leave an extra 8mm for the board longer to sit in that groove, and then you have to route out 8mm off the back so the board actually does sit in that groove. So you have to remember to cut the board 8mm big and then cut half of it back so it sits inside there. And I'll be the first, second and third to admit I am crap with woodwork. There's the toilet wall finished. I've shortened it enough so it's in line with that upright metal there, so I can put a door lock into that, and I can continue that down to the floor with some spare offcuts before I put the door in, so I've got something to secure the door to. I've got another piece of that I've got 3 or 4 pieces of that strut which I took off the front cupboard, and I shall continue that all the way down the side there on the front wall. That'll give me somewhere solid to screw the hinge in for the cab door when it goes in, and something for this door to close into. So there you can see, there's the toilet wall, first wall finished. I'll take you over and show you what sort of space I've got. Wobbly tripod lock. There's enough room for a seat in there, so that sits further out from the door than what the toilet will. So it's only going to be an emergency toilet use. The toilet's meant to be used outside or be on campsites. I've got the toilet tent to use outside. If I have to use it in here, so be it. That's going to be the toilet. My temporary lighting for the toilet. If that'll make any difference. So yeah, I think it makes a difference how you can see it. And there's that strut I was talking about at the side of the overcab cupboard door. Got some offcuts. I should be continuing that down there. And I will cut this out all around that window to make a cab door, which will open this way over the toilet door. And then the toilet door will open out this way. If I stand you back a little bit, put the tripod legs back out, the toilet door will open across there. I'm not sure how far it will come out at the moment because I haven't quite measured the gap over there yet, but the toilet door will open across there, and that will leave the shower directly under the skylight. So I've got to put a shower tray in there somehow. There's room underneath. All that's underneath the centre of the chassis is the prop shaft. It's actually stopped raining today, so I'm going to get underneath and have a bit of a measure from the centre line of the van. But I shall put a shower tray in there. I'll probably cut the floor out, sink it in and re-insulate underneath. If I remember how the chassis rails are when I looked about 2 months ago when I first got the van, there's a chassis rail running sort of there and there, and it's I can box it off above the prop shaft slightly and then sink a shower cubicle into that, because there's no point in me putting the shower cubicle above the skylight so I can actually stand up and then building up 2-3 inches and losing that height again. You know, the showers, again, it's like the toilet, I'm not going to be using it all the time. It's not an everyday thing, it's just there in case I'm off grid, which I will be sometimes. You know, a metal detecting rally, I will get back into metal detecting. I'll start going and doing the beaches in the winter when the storms come in and strip them back. Anyway, so there you have it from slightly too close up. Let's get back a bit. That's where we are so far. One toilet door, or one toilet wall rather, fitted. That's probably going to be a feature wall. I'm probably going to wallpaper that wall. Not quite sure yet. Obviously there's a bit of a gap at the top there at the ceiling. I don't know if you can see that because of the way the light is in front of the camera. There's not much I can do about that. I haven't got a blind for the side door at the moment, unfortunately. But that'll be sealed in with, is it 521 caravan sealant? Which is roughly what they sealed it in with before. All the balls will be sealed in. I don't know whether I'm going to get rid of them vents or not. Does seem a bit pointless having an extractor fan in there if you're going to leave vents in. I'll just cut some circles, glue them in, and it's probably why I'll wallpaper over that wall. But at least once the balls are sealed in the middle, that's one waterproof wall up. I haven't got to put wood up and then waterproof it. It's waterproof from the start. That's why I wanted to reuse that back cupboard, because it had to come out anyway, so rather than cut it down I thought I'd reuse it for that. So basically I've took the cupboard out that was there, made it into my bed, and took the cupboard out where my bed's going to go and made it back into the cupboard I took out from there. Yeah, sometimes I work a long way around, but that's what comes when you don't plan things, you just do things on the fly. As I've said to you before, I'm better at taking what I've got and bodging it into shape than creating something in the first place. I'm not very creative, I'm just very bodgive. I don't know, I may have just made up a new word there. Anyway, I'll get back to you later, peeps. Ta-ra.